If you heat your home with wood, cook over fire, or even burn prunings now and then, you've probably thrown away one of the most powerful soil inputs nature offers. Wood ash has fed crops for thousands of years, but when you ferment it, something special happens. Nutrients unlock, minerals dissolve, and microbes wake up. What you're left with is a living liquid fertility boost that plants can actually drink. Here on Soil Power, we're all about rediscovering old knowledge and turning it into practical modern tools for gardeners. Today, I'm walking you through fermented wood ash, what it is, why it works, and how to use it safely and effectively, whether you're just starting out or already deep into regenerative growing. Why wood ash is more than just calcium. Most gardeners think of wood ash as lime, and that's only part of the story. Yes, ash is rich in calcium, but it also contains potassium, magnesium, phosphorus, silica, and dozens of trace minerals pulled straight from deep soil layers by tree roots. The problem is availability. Raw ash is alkaline and harsh. Sprinkle it carelessly and you can shock soil life, spike pH, or lock nutrients out. Fermentation changes that dynamic completely. Through water, time, and biology, minerals move from an insoluble, aggressive form into a gentle, plant-ready solution. So, think of fermentation as digestion. Basically, you're pre-digesting the ash so your soil doesn't have to. The lost art of fermented ash fertility. Way before bottled fertilizers were even a thing, farmers across Asia and Europe would soak ash in water, sometimes adding compost, leaf mold, or plant juices. The liquid was then strained and applied to crops during key growth stages. Yields improved, plants resisted disease better, and soils stayed productive for, honestly, generations. Modern science now explains why. During fermentation, carbonates soften, potassium dissolves, and microbial activity buffers the pH. Beneficial organisms multiply, creating a mineral-rich tonic rather than a chemical shock. This isn't fertilizer in the industrial sense. It's soil nutrition in its most natural, cooperative form. Choosing the right wood ash really does matter more than you might think. Not all ash belongs in the garden, honestly. The source determines everything. Only use ash from untreated hardwoods like oak, maple, ash, fruit trees, or, native species. Avoid painted, stained, glued, or pressure-treated wood entirely. Softwoods can be used, but they tend to produce less mineral-dense ash. Ash should be fine, light gray and free of any charcoal chunks. Store it dry until use, because moist ash loses potassium rapidly, so timing and storage really do matter. If your fire burned clean wood, your garden can safely benefit from what remains. So, how exactly does fermentation turn ash into liquid gold? Well, when ash meets water, soluble minerals immediately begin to leach out, but fermentation actually goes even further. As microbes establish themselves, they release organic acids that chelate minerals, basically binding them into forms roots can absorb really easily. The result is a nutrient solution that feeds plants without burning them, and also nourishes microbes without disrupting the soil balance. This is especially powerful in depleted soils, where minerals exist but aren't actually available to plants. Over time, you'll notice the liquid develops a mild, earthy smell, not like rot. That's your sign that biology is really doing its work. Making fermented wood ash at home is actually simple, forgiving, and you can scale it up or down as needed. Use a plastic or wooden container, never metal, since the alkalinity can react with it. Add 1 cup of clean wood ash to 5 gallons of non-chlorinated water and stir thoroughly. To jumpstart fermentation, just add a small handful of finished compost, leaf mold, or maybe even a splash of compost tea. Then cover it loosely and place the container in a shaded warm spot. That's pretty much it. So, you'll want to stir once a day if you remember. Within 5 to 10 days, the liquid is going to shift from cloudy to settled, and you'll notice a soft mineral aroma. At this point, it's ready. Just go ahead and strain out the solids before you use it. Those solids, by the way, can go straight into your compost pile or right into your garden beds. Now let's talk about how and when to use it in the garden. Dilution is key here. This stuff is concentrated mineral nutrition, it's definitely not a drink-it-straight tonic, so you'll want to mix 1 part fermented ash liquid with 10 parts water for most uses. You'll want to apply it to the soil, not the leaves. Early morning or late afternoon is best. Use it during active growth, flowering and fruiting stages, when potassium and calcium demand is highest. Root crops, fruit trees, tomatoes, peppers, squash, and legumes respond especially well. You'll often see stronger stems, improved flowering, better fruit set, and deeper green growth within just a few days. In living soil systems, this liquid feeds microbes as much as plants, strengthening the entire underground food web. What fermented ash does for soil, long-term, is pretty remarkable. Unlike synthetic inputs, fermented ash doesn't create dependency. Instead, it restores balance. Calcium improves soil structure and aggregation, while potassium regulates water movement in plants. And, silica actually strengthens cell walls, improving pest and disease resistance. Over time, soils treated with mineral ferments hold nutrients better, drain more evenly, and support more microbial life. This is how fertility becomes self-renewing. You're not forcing growth, you're enabling it. Common mistakes to avoid. Let's talk about them. The biggest mistake is overuse. More is not better. Really, you want to use fermented ash sparingly, especially in soils that are already alkaline. If your soil pH is above neutral, you should apply less frequently and focus more on compost diversity. Another mistake folks make is skipping fermentation and applying raw ash directly. That's a fast track to imbalance, honestly. Fermentation is what makes this practice gentle and effective. And lastly, don't treat this as a standalone solution. Fermented ash shines brightest when it's paired with organic matter, mulches, and living roots in the soil. Why does this belong in every regenerative garden? Well, fermented wood ash turns waste into wealth. It closes a nutrient loop that, honestly, modern gardening forgot about. It costs nothing, requires no factory, and actually builds fertility instead of mining it. For beginners, it's a simple way to understand mineral nutrition without chemicals. And for experienced gardeners, it's a precision tool, targeted, powerful, and totally biologically aligned. This is the kind of knowledge that built resilient food systems long before labels and marketing ever got involved. If this guide helped you see wood ash in a new way, make sure to subscribe to Soil Power, share this with a fellow gardener, and, keep these old but gold techniques alive. The more we rebuild soil, the more it gives back, and that's real power.